Scott Brown here. We're in Japan and we're recladding the front of a store/guest house. Welcome to another exciting episode. Please excuse our mess, but Nikita has done an amazing job inside this guest house, this building. Now the sound that you're hearing now is the outside of the building. So on the outside of the building, there was this old brown tin cladding. Isaac and Nikita pulled off a lot of it on the front of the house. And we're gonna put new cladding on that. I'll talk about that in a sec. But elsewhere in the house, the solution to hide the brown cladding was to just paint it black. So at first glance, that brown stuff might have looked like this, like timber. But if you look a bit closer, tin, and it has these joins and nails, and it looks like this when you pull it off. But if you get a bit of black spray paint, it can look like this. So that's the back of the building, and a little bit around here at the front of the entrance. But the front of the building that faces the street, that's what we're working on. And we've decided to make it blue. No, I'm just kidding. That's the tarpaulin. Here we go. Look at this. That is charred cedar, commonly called shoshugiban in Western countries. That's not actually the right term. It's actually yakisugi, which is easier to say. It literally means grilled cedar or charred cedar. Other than it looking amazing when you do that, it's actually a preservative. Rather than treating timber to protect it from the elements, you char it. It creates a protective layer, both from moisture and from rot, and from fire, ironically enough. And the bonus is you get a really cool look. Now of course, timber is more expensive than just painting the side of your house. That's why Nikita's painting most of her guest house. But for this front part, the part that faces the street when you drive up and your first impression, she's invested in a bit of yakisugi. We're going to put it on here and make it look pretty epic.
Oh shit, I tried to come back and help. Lucky we had a bucket of water on standby for safety, which we ended up having to use a couple times.
Yes, big excited wave.
Kirei desu.
Oh, thank you. So for Toshi-san, who was in the videos when we were here in Japan for the first time, he made this window. He just dropped it off. It's made of mahogany or sapele. But the thing about this window is it is a different size to the existing window. This window here is aluminium and it's not that nice to look at. And see how low it is? If you look at that sink there, the windows are lower than the sink. So what Nikita wants is she wants that timber window reveal to line up roughly with the top of the sink. So we need to take this one out, and then we need to reframe the bottom here. And as you can see by looking at the rest of the wall, there's a bit of reframing to do. And Nikita just informed us that a typhoon is on the way. So, don't know if it's the right time to pull the window out, but we'll see how we go. We're going to reuse the battens to try and create a stable sort of wall line.
Oh my god, don't you just...
What is it? Is it the mukade?
Yeah.
You're kidding. Is it alive?
No, he's very dead.
Oh yeah, that's crisp. Do you want to remind the audience what mukade is?
Oh, they're like Japan's worst bugs. They're like a giant centipede that looks like a dragon, and they're poisonous and venomous. And they always move in pairs. That's what my neighbors tell me. If you see one, you always have to, you can't go to sleep until you find its friend.
Nightmare.
Not a fan.
Absolute nightmare.
まあほんで言っていいことはないと思うけれど、それ言ったらね、テレビ見ないで余計に言うたろう思って。
ありがとう、ありがとう。
台風気をつけいや。はい。明日、明後日ね。明後日、明後日。分かった。わかりました。頑張って。
Is that tomorrow?
I wish you got all of that on camera. hours to get the whole field in. We have until Wednesday afternoon before typhoon number 6 is forecast to hit my butter.
Typhoon number 6?
Yes, and we currently have a giant hole in the side of the building. Is it lunchtime already?
I think so. Midday. Check this out. Nikita just told me this was a 99-year-old building, and we're plumb that way, and we're plumb that way as well. Amazing. This, on the other hand, is all over the show.
The way they make the bamboo lattice and then pack the dirt into it makes sense. It's just...
They've always done it in the UK too. They call it lath and plaster. And it's all timber.
It's nothing to laugh about, Scott.
Alright, we're one day from the typhoon, and this is looking pretty secure, but we're going to work on it. We're going to have to make it unsecure. We're just kind of working with what we got. Obviously this isn't a modern framed wall. This part looks like it's been hit with a car. This is a driveway, so that would make sense. So what we need is support for our cladding. So back in the day this just would have been clay. So in between posts, clay right out to the front. And obviously somewhere along the lines of, rather than putting the clay or restoring the clay because it was damaged, they've put tin cladding over it.
Typhoon ready?
Yes, and I got to use my shutters for the first time.
Hajimete. Hajimete.
Not hajimemashite.
First time.
First time.
Okay, the typhoon wasn't a direct hit in Shiga Prefecture. It kind of hit another part of Japan and it passed us by. But as I edit this video, I'm currently in another part of Japan where there is a typhoon again. And hopefully it'll pass us by this time too. I guess that's what happens when you come to Japan in the season known as the typhoon season. But you know what you can sort out in any season, in any time of year, and that is your website. If you run a business, having a website is still important, even in this age of social media, and there's no better place to do it than Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform where you can build your online presence and run your business. You can do everything on Squarespace. You can get your own custom domain. If you already have a custom domain, you can do a domain transfer. They have thousands of templates to choose from, so you can find a style that will match the kind of business that you run. And if the kind of business you run is e-commerce and you want to sell some stuff, they have e-commerce tools built into their platform. And if you're not selling a product, maybe you're selling a service, like building services. Not only can you market it on your website, you can also invoice your clients straight from your website. And there's payment services built into the platform too, all the major ones. They've designed Squarespace so it's an all-in-one platform, so you can do everything you need to do to get a professional website right there on Squarespace. And they also offer a free trial, so you've got nothing to lose by giving it a go. But make sure once you're ready to set up your website, head over to squarespace.com/Scott Brown Carpentry, and you can save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Well, the typhoon came and technically it's still here, but I don't think we're getting a direct hit. Because as you can see, I'm walking out here and the wind isn't bad at all. But if you can already hear that, oh my god. That's like one day of rain. Oh my gosh, that's where we were standing. So I think that's why these bridges are built like this. They're very high from the riverbed and they don't have handrails. Well, apart from this one. Because I can imagine if the water gets super high, you know, if the bridge is too imposing, it'll probably get knocked over by the water. What are these notches for, you may be wondering? Well, they call them castellated battens, I believe. You put it against here. Because we're doing vertical cladding, we need horizontal battens. But the problem horizontal battens introduce is they create an area where water can get trapped. So that little scalp in the back of the batten can allow water to go down.
Whoa. Should you be wearing PPE, Nikita?
Yeah, it blows in your face. Yeah. It got me like in the eyes and I was like, oh my gosh. Take two.
I'm clearly not at home, I don't live in Japan, so I don't have all the tools I'm used to, and I've got to create this little wedge with the tools that we have. So with a cut like this at home, I'll just get the big table saw out, set the depth and the angle to 6 degrees, and then just cut the wedge in one go. It's like building anywhere, right? When you're on a building site, you usually don't have that kind of machinery. So we improvise. Well, it's not pretty, but it's the wedge timber we need.
New Zealando Jin Daiku. All men love walking around building sites with their hands behind their back. It is not restricted to one culture. You got a little while before you're part of that cohort.
I'm 40 in a month or a month and a half.
You know how they put windows next to construction sites? So that men can stand there and watch?
No, it's to stop the men climbing over the fence so they can...
To watch?
Yeah. You will need your cedar weatherboards, some water, form a triangle with 3 of your cedar weatherboards. Check a real YouTube guide on how to do this, link in the description. Then you grab some cotton string, you soak it in a bucket of water and use it to tie your triangle, and you do it on both ends. Now you have your chimney, so you can take it over to where you're going to have your fire, put it up, start the fire and let it burn. But make sure you don't let it burn for too long because this can happen.
Lucky we had a bucket of water on standby.
Drop it down, it smokes out, untie it, and see how it looks. This looks good, except it's only burnt at one end. So you tie it all up again, take it over but flip it the other way this time, and burn again. And now you have an evenly charred yakisugi weatherboard. Wash it down with water to make sure it doesn't burn anymore. And there you have it. A great result. Except the edges. Here's what we do for this.
Oh, hi there. Was it Steve Urkel always used to say?
Did I do
that? tucking everything in so that, you know, it doesn't catch on fire. Oh, Sade.
Oh, Sade.
That's me.
So this little hand-blowing torch here, that gets the edges that the fire missed. So you get a uniform charred appearance on the front of the cladding. Mukade.
I'm amazed you walked right past that.
Oh, look at all these lights twitching.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's upside down, is it?
Yeah, he's upside down. I could try to flip him like a pancake.
No, don't. just let him know he's not welcome here.
Mikado, Jess.
Well, at least it's on the floor dying.
This one gonna work.
No splitting?
Cool, no splitting.
Nice. We also scorched the bottom of the board to protect it like we've protected the face of the board. That's Futoshi-san has returned. So the corking goes in that groove. Okay. Shinobi has so many opinions. These are the sides, made out of the same mahogany, and they have the little groove in there that takes the sash. Good.
I still feel like he's my boss.
Okay. Yay!
What do you think?
We were trying to recreate a genuine moment there. I think it looks great.
There's a lot of... Wait, can you say that again? The camera wasn't running. So good.
Thanks.
So our vertical weatherboards are only so long, not long enough to go all the way up the building. So we have to have a break, we have to have a join somewhere. And anywhere you do that, you need a horizontal flashing to protect the top of the bottom row and to give somewhere for the bottom of the next row to drip onto and out. So I did my fancy join there as I just showed on the camera. And now I just need to add a little bit of silicone here. So we've got some black silicone to hopefully make it a bit less obvious. What do they say? Do your best, cork the rest.
Cork up the rest.
You don't want to cork it up, Jess.
Don't cork it up.
So there we go.
I can't see, that's too dark. There we go. The thing with the black is it looks awesome in person, but on camera it's really hard to pick up.
Good, it hides the imperfections.
What imperfections?
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful, beautiful, sugoi. Alright, let's check my level. Right. It's all looking premium, you know? And then grab my ancient nail punch that Isaac and Nikita found on their journeys in the op shops and the markets. When Futoshi saw that, he said, oh, rare. So the flashings, you'll see, are hard against the paper. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tape this joint here. The idea is that any moisture that is trapped behind the cladding and on the paper runs down, hits our flashing and goes out. So we're going to have a little gap here as well between the yakisugi and the flashing for water to escape. That's looking pretty level to me. Alright, let's do a dry fit of the corner piece. So that part overlaps. That works just fine. I think we can get some silicone on there now. Bit of graffiti going on upstairs.
What's your tag name, Nikita?
This manic kid.
You answered that
Way too
very
quick.
quickly.
Yeah.
We're going to start walking around the town just seeing this manic kid tagged everywhere.
There we go, that's all pretty. Oh no, look, I've bent you a nail punch. I broke the rear nail punch.
I don't know.
Oh, I think it was
This is why it's rare.
Because New Zealanders keep coming over and breaking them.
Oh no.
It's Fatoshi's first window. Not bad.
Not bad for a first go.
No, it's beautiful.
Good job.
Thank you.
Jess and I are staying in Nikitsu, in the guest house, and it's currently 8 PM and these guys are still going. Hey guys. Looks like you're doing a great job.
We're trying to fix more.
Huh?
We're trying to fix slight mistakes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're getting there. I don't think we're going to get the whole wall done tonight. We're getting bugged out.
Oh yeah, I bet.
There's so many bugs.
Oh my god, look at them. They think they've found the moon.
I love your energy though. But we're going to
Yeah.
finish this whole wall tonight before the sun goes down. I believe it. I believed it.
I think the
I still
sun.
believe it.
So did we.
No.
I think the sun's gone.
Give yourselves a break. I mean, look what you've achieved.
It is really, really beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
It's looking great. Oh well, good night guys.
Oh, good night.
Have a good sleep.
How was dinner?
Delicious. It's sitting there ready for you. Right now I'm cutting all the boards for the top part, and we're a little bit under the pump because we're going away tonight. This is kind of the last day, and as you can see, we're not finished.
Yeah, we really wanted to get this bottom wall done yesterday, and we got stuck around the window. We're out here till 9 PM, just trying to get the window section finished. With each board you lay, you kind of creep across and you lose your line. It was a lot more complicated than we anticipated, and it took all day.
How are you feeling about it this morning versus how you felt about it last night?
Much better.
It's amazing what a meal and a sleep can do. Eh?
Definitely. Also just like waking up first thing with a coffee and tackling it again. But yeah, we made a lot of progress this morning, which is nice.
Lawson Conveni. Let's get a snack. You're a cute cat, you know that? Well, he was pouncing, ready to go inside.
I know, right? I was very mindful of that.
Shinobi here. There's a cheeky cat. He's not even a cat.
He's technically a stray.
He's technically a stray and he just hangs out here every breakfast, lunch and dinner.
It's a very friendly stray.
Very friendly.
He's ready for his photo shoot over there.
Yeah. Guess he keeps the snakes away.
No, he doesn't. As I found out earlier.
Just came across a snake earlier today.
More like a snake came across me.
We had to build a little wall under that window. And because we had to build that wall, I just put some insulation underneath in the frame. And now we need to line it with plywood. Now this brings me to something interesting that Japan does that we don't do in New Zealand. From the shop, standard sheet of plywood. Looks pretty normal, right? But it's only 1800 long, 900 wide, instead of what we do in New Zealand, which is 1200 by 2.4. And the more interesting thing is the reason why it's that size. It's based on these here, famous tatami mats that you find all over Japan. The construction sizes are built around this. And there's some variance depending on the region, but they're all around about 1800 by 900. So in New Zealand we'll have highlighters at 600 mils because that's usually how we center our studs, but they've got it on 450 and 900. That's how they choose the center of their studs, their joists, rafters, and the sizes of their plywood. All of that is the reason I need to join this plywood because it's not big enough. I got it in. The sink is in.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, you happy?
Very happy.
You guys grafted for that.
I'm exhausted. I feel like I could throw up.
Covered in soot like a chimney sweep.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Oh, Shinobi, look!